What's up, everybody? Nameco here, Dustin there. 1, 2, 3, 4 games done. Fantasy season, 16 games. We're a quarter of the way done already, Mr. Barkley.
Man, you must have gotten A's in math. I
was in AP classes.
Good for you.
Definitely scored higher than you on the SAT. And still want to beat you in an IQ test.
Overachiever over here.
Smart.
He thinks he's smarter than he is. But he's no dummy. But get into our FanDuel game. If you haven't already, click on the link in the description. And if you haven't signed up for FanDuel yet, do us a solid. Click on the link. Sign up.
Do us a solid.
Deposit some money and get into our game. You win cash just like you normally would. And you can win a free entry into the following week's Sunday Million, which is a $9 entry. And then you can win $1 million, and then you can send us some, and then everyone will be happy.
Oh, that would be so sweet. Just 2% goes to us. All right, let's talk about them quarterbacks for week 5. And I'm starting off with Mr. Mahomes. And you would think, well, obviously you're starting him if you got him. He's been amazing. But he's playing Jacksonville this week. So in the ranking contest we do, we have him at number 3 this week. The rest of the world has him at number 10. I don't see how that's possible. You just got to start him. So far in the season, he's had 15 touchdowns in just 4 games. And you're going to see a theme this week. I'm going to talk about season stats, or last week's stats, or 2017 stats, foreshadowing who am I talking about 2017 stats.
I bet you, they are on the edge of their seats. I'm going to talk about Jared Goff at number 7. And I had this debate in one of my leagues. I have Goff and Rodgers. And Rodgers has been good, but he hasn't been great. You know who has been great is Goff. This is a tough one. We got Goff just above him. He's at Seattle. And that used to be a nightmare matchup. It's still not an easy place to play. But they have given up the 6th fewest passing yard, or 6th fewest points to fantasy quarterbacks. So it's like, okay, we are far enough into the season where you start paying attention to that, but you do need to look at who they played. They played Denver, okay, Chicago, Dallas, Arizona. So they haven't really played that many good passing offenses, so I'm not totally buying the whole 6th fewest point thing. I think Goff, it just looks like the Rams and KC can't do anything wrong.
But this is what you do. Post in the comments who Dustin should play.
Yeah,
either Goff or Rodgers. Whoever has the most, Dustin will heed to the Fantasy Smackdown community and play that person.
Probably not, but
come on, say you'll do that.
I will read the comments and take all the information. It's a tough one, though. But it just seems like the Rams and KC can't do anything wrong.
Just say you'll do it.
I will read everything.
Just say you'll do it.
No.
Even if you don't do it, say you'll do it.
I'll do it. Talk about
Thank you.
Back.
All right, he knew I'd keep going. That's why I did that. All right, talking about running backs. They got a new man crush. There was Arian Foster back in the day. My Arian Foster.
Whatever you want to say.
There was DeMarco Murray when he first broke out. Who called that? And now it is Sony Michele. Hope he doesn't do me dirty on Thursday night, but I absolutely love him. Last week, 25 carries, $112 and a touchdown. Like I said, I think I even said this last week, or at least on my FanDuel show, the Patriots are going to start clicking. They did last week against Dustin's Dolphins. How'd that work out? And he blew up. I think he's going to be great all year.
Joe Mixon I want to talk about. It looks like, as of right now, he's probably going to play. A little concerning, though, in terms of what might happen with his workload. First game back, Gio's looked good. So they might not give him a full load, but they're going up against Miami. They've given up the 4th most points against running backs. They have definitely been easy to run on. If Mixon comes back, he's more than likely finding your lineup. We like his matchup.
All right, it's 2017 stat time. Exciting. Name this player. 1,124 rushing yards, 58 catches for 416 yards, and 12 touchdowns.
It's pretty good.
Mark Ingram, welcome back to fantasy football.
Splitting carries.
Now, obviously, Kamara is going to be still the feature back. He's been absolutely incredible. But Dustin's been touting Ingram for a long time now, and I'm finally, it took me 4 weeks to get on board. If for some God unknown reason this guy's available, grab him. I think he's still going to have a pretty good role. We ranked him 21. We're going to wait and see the approach. But I remember weeks last year where they were both inside like the top 15, maybe even the top 12 at times. So we're seeing Ingram's might break. That offense is great. Let's see what Ingram does.
12 to 15 touches for Ingram on that offense, with 5 of those being catches. He's still going to be relevant. Freeman for Atlanta, it looks like he's going to come back this week. We got him this low just because we don't love the matchup against Pittsburgh. It's not terrible, but it's kind of the same deal. He's got a really good backup out there with Coleman. They don't necessarily have to rush him back. It's just a little scary the first game back because you're not really sure of the workload. The only reason we had Mixon so high is just because he's got a better matchup, but we'll see what happens. But Freeman should be back this week, it looks like.
All right, as we move over to wide receiver, Mr. Cooper Kupp on the season. Again, doing stats for you all show. He's got 24 catches, 348 yards, and 4 touchdowns thus far. He's looked great. That offense has looked great. We have him ranked number 12. We actually think he's we have him one spot over Cooks right now, the best option on that Rams offense. There's no reason to see why this won't continue. McVay absolutely loves this kid, and he's drawing up plays for him left and right.
Calvin Ridley, the rookie, inside our top 20. The kid's looked amazing. The last 2 games, he has 12 catches, which is not bad, but 5 of them are touchdowns, which is absolutely insane. And at this point, you could say 1 week, it's kind of fluky, but not after he does it the second week. Now you got to start trusting it. Now you got to start putting him in your lineups over some big-name guys. Until he proves us otherwise, you're probably starting.
Not since TJ Hushmanzada has AJ Green, right? Huh? How about that pull? It's been a while. Not has AJ Green had such a good number 2 wide receiver, but I think Tyler Boyd's the real deal. He was great last week with 11 catches for just at 100 yards. There's no reason to think why this won't consider. He's going to be in the wide receiver 2, wide receiver range, especially with the bye weeks coming up. Look for Tyler Boyd to continue the stretch. It's not fluky at all. This kid's great.
Keelan Cole, this guy I want to talk about.
He has no TJ Hushmanzada though.
No, he was a beast.
I know you loved him.
Keelan Cole's interesting this week. That whole Jags offense is interesting this week. Going up against
Love
Kansas.
the Jags offense. It's so weird.
They're playing Kansas City. They got some weapons on that offense. I like Dede this week too. You got to think Casey's going to be able to put up some points against Jacksonville. This isn't going to be a 9-6 game like it was when they played Tennessee. This one could potentially be high scoring, and Jacksonville has proven they can go out there and throw the ball and get some passing stats. So I think Cole and Dede, there's still nothing more than flex plays, but they're interesting this week.
Man, the tight end landscape this year.
It's gross.
Ew. It has been so tough. We get asked a lot of questions like, who could I pick up? And it's just like, maybe this guy will get a touchdown this week, so you should grab him. I mean, unless you have Kelsey or Ertz, and hopefully Gronk plays on Thursday, it's just like, what do you do? So I'm talking about Hooper, hanging with my man. He is so... But he hasn't been so good this year. Only 12 catches, $125, and 1 touchdown. However, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and so does Vegas. And that Atlanta Steelers game, there's a chance he gets a touchdown, and that's why I'm talking about him.
I want to talk about Jeff Heuerman with Denver. Going up against the Jets, Jake Butt is out. Heuerman, 7 targets last week, 4 catches for 57 yards. I mean, this day and age, with where the tight end position is, that's pretty good. So if you're not happy with your tight end, or you've been one of the unfortunate owners that's had an injury, Heuerman's not a bad guy to take a look at. It definitely looked like they were looking his way a decent amount.
He might sneak into my FanDuel show. I bet he is so cheap.
Yeah, probably about as cheap as they come.
As cheap as they come. All right, as we move over to defense, Tennessee Titans. We got them ranked number 1 this week, and it's not because I'm a believer in the Tennessee defense being so amazing.
They're pretty good, though.
They're very solid, but I don't think they're the... Some people are like, it's pretty close to Jacksonville. It's not pretty close to Jacksonville, or even pretty close to the Bears. But they're still pretty solid. It's going up against the Bills, and I know the rookie looked great that 1 week, but the Bills have yielded the most fantasy points to defenses. At this point, we're a quarter of the way through the year. We gotta go with it. So I'm saying Tennessee, if they're available, because they're available in 2 of my leagues, see if you can pick them up.
Carolina, I like this week at home.
The league I didn't get Tennessee at Carolina.
There you go.
Wow. Wowie.
Jeez. At home against the Giants. Giants have given up the 5th most points to opposing defenses. They haven't been clicking. They will probably put up some points, but you got to think there'll be at least 1 or 2 turnovers there. And I do like starting defenses coming off their bye. Nice and fresh, 2 weeks to prepare for the game. And that is what Carolina is doing. So That's week 5. Good luck. If you
Post
got your
Goff
lineup
or
questions,
Rodgers.
Goff or Rodgers.
And Dustin will adhere to whatever it is.
Any other lineup questions, post them in here. We try to get to as many
I know
as
his
we
login.
can.
I swear I'll change it. I swear to you I will. Just post it. I swear I will.
And say if it's PPR or standard.
I definitely know his login.
And subscribe.
100%.
And you don't.
Uh-oh. Do you want me to say it for the world?